Welcome back to another episode of Saga of Tanya the Evil. So in the previous episode, we saw some of the backstory for, well, Tanya and how she got isekai to this world and why she holds this benevolent malice towards God or Being X, if you will, right? She wants to take revenge on Being X, and she also doesn't want to admit that Being X is a god. Meanwhile, Being X is trying to make her believe in his godliness. Is that a word? There must be a word for it. Either way. Either way. So, yeah, it was a very, very wild backstory. Even when, Tanya was alive, he was a interesting individual, right? Very much a stickler for the rules and very peculiar about the rules as well. So he was an interesting one, and it shows. It definitely shows in the way that he was reincarnated. But also we saw then some of her early starts in this world, and she was actually reborn as a baby, which I feel like is kind of rare. In isekai, usually they are just teleported into this world at the same age as they were before. But I always appreciate when they show the main character being born as a baby and being brought up in this world, right? It adds a little bit of like depth to the world, and I like it a lot. So yeah, it was a really interesting outlook on Tanya as a character, but let's see where we're gonna be going next with the story, because I feel like we saw in the previous episode like the pendant that has the magic in it, the circular one that she's wearing in episode 1. I believe it's the same one. It looks very similar. So we saw someone making it. So I believe that in this episode we're probably gonna be seeing how she gets her hands on it. But yeah, I guess let's find out. So let's go into Saga of Tanya the Evil, episode 3. Okay. 1923. Instruction unit. Yes, that sounds good. Be a teacher. No. Nice. Don't say too much. Well, we already know that this is not gonna work out, but still. Is this gonna be the jewel? I was not expecting that. So loud. It is. Whoa. What the? Huh? Whoa, before going to the opening, we didn't get an opening before this, did we? I think we got an opening as the ending. Anyways, an interesting thing is, right, if the Being X reincarnated her in this world for the sake of her for the sake of wanting her to, live like a very rough life, I wonder why it gave her like such a big talent for magic. Maybe it wanted, I guess you can make an argument that it wanted her to be on the front lines, and actually it wanted her to be very, very good at using magic because it wanted her to be deployed to the front lines and actually experience harsh battles. But I feel like the life would have been even harsher if she were like a mediocre person. Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not actually. Is it Tom Heck song? Most Meet and Roid songs are Tom Heck, but is this one as well? Because it's a banger. It just says Meet and Roid, it doesn't say who the producer is. Studio Nut. Such a banger. Deuce Vault. Deuce Vault. Yep, here it is. Okay. This guy. Yeah. Poor guy. A meritocracy, okay. I could smell it coming. What's an Italian red devil? Art museum. Ah, this guy. Yup. Yup. Yep, it is. Words to abide by. Request for transfer. Uh-oh. Poor guy. That's a wild looking building. Approve. Metaphysical. It's the same thing that happened in the previous episode. Why? いかにも。Humanity isn't as desperate anymore, being X. Ha! Yeah! Oh! So my guess is that being X made her more stable in her control of like magic and stuff like that. So now that she's gonna be able to use the thingy. Deus Lovult. I like how they're bringing like real world stuff into this, like Murphy's Law and like all of the Bible stuff. $320? $320 what? Oh. Oh. Oh, so God being X didn't give anything to Tanya, it gave it to Doctor. Yo, remove the safety. Again? I love how Yuki. You vile piece of shit. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Oh, the eyes are so cool. $24, okay. Oh, that's interesting. You know, I assumed that it's gonna be all the way to till the end. It's gonna be Tanya just finding interesting ways to avoid doing anything to get closer to God. But this feels like she is actually dancing on the palm of being X at some point. She is definitely, you know, even though she is kind of being what's the word? She is being in denial when she's like, well, I'm just saying this, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't believe it. But it does feel like she's getting closer and closer to you know, actual, I don't know, not belief necessarily, but at least, you know, acquiescing to the demands of the being X, which is interesting. I wonder if it's gonna actually end in her fully believing in it. I never thought it would, but because the end game is either Tanya fully accepts being X as God or she gets revenge on it. One of the two, right? Oh, that voice, man. Yeah, to say the least. Well. Holy. Oh, I love Sari Hayami as well. What a fantastic voice. The VA list is so stacked. Ooh. That's a fair question. Fair worry. Yeah, she's got a point there. Ah. Um, trying her best to deny it. Is that Jiraiya? Suspicious. Suspicious. Surely nothing will go wrong. Surely. Rapid response unit? Uh-oh. You're gonna be in the special ops. Bro. Being X is always gonna be there to just deny any kind of sweetness in her life. Comfort. Is that Aoyuki singing this? Oh! I love the keyboard in this part. Oh, the keyboard in that part in the chorus. The tone. God, I love Saori Hayami's voice so much. Campus life, next episode. Well. Oh my god, that ending song is flames. It's so good. Yeah, it definitely sounds like Aoi Yuki is singing it, right? Wow, what a banger of a song. Also the drums and the bass in that. Oh, oh my god, it's so good. There was a line like in the ending, towards the end of the ending, that was just so on beat and it was so satisfying. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait to watch the next episode just to hear the ending again. Anyways, this was interesting. So it seems like being X now we're seeing is going to be a lot more involved in making sure that Tanya does not get off easy and making sure that it gets its way, right? Which is interesting. So my thought that I was thinking about is I wonder why Tanya actually chose to be in the military over anything else. And I think it's because she just doesn't have the skill set to do anything else on the level that she wants to do it at, right? Because, and also her skills in like mana are basic, or magic or whatever, are basically the most useful in a military setting and will, you know, kind of differentiate her the most in the military setting. So that would make sense. I was like, well, if I were put into this kind of scenario, I would probably go for something like a scientist position, right? Because that sounds like a safer position. And also, I mean, even though obviously I'm not like, you know, any kind of scientist, I still feel like there are parts of history that I know and with sciences that I could use to, you know, kind of advance my name and make sure that I'm like kind of like safe and well off. But I feel like Tanya, because of the person that Tanya was in his previous life, it makes more sense for him to be in the military, and also the opportunity and all of the circumstances kind of presented itself in a way that it makes most sense. So I'm guessing that's why, right? She decided to be in the military over like some kind of other position, like going to a university and being a scientist or something like that, right? Or just being like an engineer on like planes or something, right? Because I feel like you could do that and you're gonna be safe, right? You're gonna be safe and sound and just, you know, enjoying the, I guess not enjoying life, but like going by, getting by. But I guess this one has like a higher potential to be safe, well off, and stuff like that. Anyways, apart from that, we saw that Tanya is getting a bit closer, or it's getting hard for Tanya to actually fully deny God, right? Because she started praying and stuff like that. And even if it is just like a chant that doesn't have too much meaning to her, it still feels like a small loss for her, right? When it comes to like this battle of being X and Tanya, right? It feels like a small loss. And now the question is, Tanya is always gonna be, you know, it's kind of like a battle between them, who's gonna be achieving their goal first. It feels like Tanya is trying to get to being X to take revenge, but being X, meanwhile, is trying to make sure that Tanya like acknowledges being X as a god. So it's just a race of what happens first. Is Tanya gonna be able to first take revenge on being X, or is whatever revenge that it even is it like killing being X? Is it like, I don't know what, whatever it is, or is being X gonna be successful in convincing Tanya that it is a god? I don't know, but I guess we'll see, because I don't think Tanya has any problem with like admitting that being X can actually like has some kind of like supernatural powers and like can do miracles. Her problem is, you know, just saying that it is a god. But yeah, anyways, now Tanya is powerful, and she's not the only one, because we saw that well, No, oh, wait. So I'm thinking about the entire scene with the scientist, right? I do wonder. So did God just basically say, hey, this is gonna be sick, this is gonna be really, really good, and you should just remove the safety out of it? Basically giving him false confidence, even though the actual new jewel or whatever didn't actually change at all, it didn't get better. And then when Tanya went up, there was no safety on it, and because of that, she was put in like a dangerous situation, and being X basically forced her to pray. Okay, I think that's what happened. Okay, because at first I kind of assumed that God actually did do, or being X actually did do some kind of miracle with the scientist and made him make a better jewel, but that's not the case. It just made him falsely super confident to make him remove the safety out of the gem, to force Tanya into praying to God to survive the explosion. Okay, that makes sense. And yeah, I really like how they have, like, Tanya has like callbacks to actual real world stuff, like, as she said earlier, Murphy's Law and like a bunch of Bible stuff. So that's just really, really cool. I like that. I hope they keep that in. But I guess we'll see where this is gonna go. I'm excited. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.